Hey everybody. Since we've just recently worked on addition, subtraction, and multiplication with fractions, you could probably have guessed that tonight we're going to work on dividing fractions. So when we divide fractions, there are 5 steps that we need to follow. And the first 3 we can sort of think of them as one step altogether. And that's how to set up the problem. So when we're dividing fractions, like, let's look at our first example, example A here, 5/9 divided by 2/3. What we need to do is keep the first fraction the same. So I'll write a K above that. We're going to keep the first fraction the same. So that's going to be 5/9. And then we are going to change the division to multiplication. And we are going to flip the second fraction. So that becomes 3/2. We just switch the numerator and denominator. And when we do this, that lets us rewrite a division problem as a multiplication problem. Instead of dividing by 2/3, we're multiplying by what's called the reciprocal, where we flip the numerator and denominator. Once we do that, we've set up the problem. That's the first 3 steps. Now we just need to multiply, step 4. So the first 3 steps go pretty quickly. And now we multiply. We know we multiply straight across. The numerator times the numerator gives me 15. And then 9 times 2 in the denominators gives me 18. And I want to make sure I can simplify this. I know I can divide both of these by 3. So we divide by 3. And we get 5/6. And that's our final answer. So all we need to do to start, we keep the first fraction, change the division to multiplication, and flip the second fraction. And then once we do that, it's just a multiplication problem. So let's take a look at example B. Same thing, I'm going to keep my 2/5. I'm going to change the division to multiplication. I'm going to flip 7. Wait a second, 7, that's not a fraction, but I can write that as a fraction by putting 7/1. When I flip that, switch the numerator and denominator, it becomes 1/7. And now I multiply. 2 times 1 is 2. 5 times 7 is 35. And I don't think I can simplify that. I think that's our final answer for that one. For a third one, I'm going to do the same thing. Keep, change, flip. So 10, I'm going to write that as a fraction, though, since we're working with fractions. It's going to make things easy for me. 10/1 times 9/4. Now 10 times 9 is going to give me 90. 1 times 4 is going to give me 4. That's a big improper fraction. Now I notice both of these are even numbers, so I know I can divide by 2. So if I divide both of these by 2, 90 divided by 2, if I split 90 in half, I get 45. And 4 divided by 2 is 2. So there's our answer to example C. Now, when we have mixed numbers, we do these problems very similarly, but just like with multiplication, the first thing we want to do is convert from mixed number to improper fractions. So let's do that. We'll do 4 times 5, that's 20, and then we'll add 3. So we get 23/5, and that's divided by 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5. So we get 5/3. And now we keep, change, flip. So 23/5 times 3/5. So my answer becomes, I know 5 times 5 is 25. 23 times 3, we can work that out. 3 times 3 is 9, and 2 times 3 is 6. So our answer is 69/25. Example E is going to be very similar. We're going to turn these into improper fractions first. That's our first step. So 7 times 2 is 14, plus 1 is going to give me 15/7 divided by 4 times 5 is 20 plus 3. That's 23 over 4. Now we will do our keep, change, flip. Sorry, I got to squeeze it in there a little bit. So I'm going to have 15 over 7 times 4 over 23. Now 15 times 4, I know 15 times 2 is 30. And if I double that, I get 60. So 15 times 4 is 60. And I need to do 23 times 7. I'm going to work that out over here. 23 times 7. 7 is 21. Carry the 2. 2 times 7 is 14, plus 2 is 16. So 23 times 7 is 161. So that is my denominator. And I'm pretty sure that we don't have any common factors here, so I don't think that can be simplified. That's our final answer. So those are all of our examples for tonight. Don't forget to complete your questions, write your summary, and submit your notes through Canvas. I'll see you all tomorrow.